What's up, everybody? The old man here, Street Racing Channel Garage. You may know me as Billy and Tommy's dad, or the old man, grumpy old man. Kind of wanted to get started tonight with this first video just as an introduction and explain what's going on here and the reason behind another channel. And the reason for that is that, you know, both the boys are getting older and they've both moved out now. They're not living here anymore. They're not here as much. They've got other things going on. And so I'm kind of out here in the shop by myself a lot. And I just feel like there's a lot of video content that gets wasted that doesn't get recorded. And I get bombarded with a lot of private messages on Facebook. I can't add any more friends on Facebook, so I feel bad because I really want to help people, but there's just absolutely no possible way I can answer all the messages. I can't. If I started a conversation with every single person that private messaged me with a question, I'd never get any work done. There's just no possible way. And I feel bad about it. There's a lot of people that message me with really, really good stuff that I'd really like to help them with, and there's just no possible way. There's no way I can help everybody with all these different questions. And so I thought that maybe if I started my own channel and get accustomed to taking video and editing videos, and maybe I can capture some of the stuff that's getting lost through the cracks, some of the content that could be made out here that's just not getting used or is getting lost. And the other thing is, I'm 47 years old now. I've got a severe back problem. I've got a hernia. I've had a hernia for probably 20 years. And I do excavating for a living. So I'd like to find something other than excavating to do for a while, or at least cut back on the ditch digging and the excavating. And I really enjoy working on my son's trucks here in the shop. And I enjoy helping people. You know, we've traveled quite a bit. We've been a bunch of different places. We've done a lot of cool stuff. And I think a lot of people enjoy the content, obviously. I mean, Billy's got over 150,000 subscribers now on YouTube. I don't know how many followers he has on Facebook. I think there's 200 and some thousand followers on his Facebook page. So there's a lot of people that know our family, know what we're about. But they don't really get to see the behind the scenes of how much work it really takes to keep that truck running and this truck running. I mean, it's a lot. It's nonstop. It's every week, a little bit every night has to be done to keep these trucks maintained, keep them running, keep them safe. And a lot of times I'm out here doing it by myself, and I don't want to waste that content. I feel like it's just a waste, and I feel like it could be helping a lot of people. So we're going to try this, you know. We'll see how it goes. It may not go anywhere. It may do well. I don't know. I've got some friends that are content creators that are willing to help me. Maybe Billy and Tommy will help me a little bit here and there, but we'll see how it goes. So for tonight, I'm going to introduce you to these two trucks. Just give you a quick rundown. A lot of people already know what they are, but let's get to it. So this is the blue truck, otherwise known as Tommy Two Guns truck. It's a small block nitrous truck, 415 cubic inch, based off of a Speedmaster block, 4125 bore, 3.875 stroke, 6-inch rod, 13.5 to 1 Wiseco piston, AFR 220 heads, Super Victor intake with a Induction Solutions Pro Kit direct port nitrous system installed by John Molina Speedworks out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Ignition is MSD, Pro Billet distributor. It has a digital 7-box, programmable right here. Let's see. Carburetor is a custom built based off of a stock Holley 850 base plate. It is a Proform, aka Quick Fuel, 1050 main body, and it has Quick Fuel E85 metering blocks, standard calibration in the metering blocks, just the way they come out of the package. Custom jetting and air bleed package, of course, and I'll get into that stuff in a later video. It has Quick Fuel chrome fuel bowls. Pretty standard stuff for the most part. The truck runs on E85, of course, in the factory stock fuel tank. We use the factory stock fuel pump, and we use 2 return style regulators. This one is for the E85 to the carburetor. This one is for the standalone system, which we use Stinger Race Fuels 117 race gas to enrich the nitrous system with fuel. So both are return style regulators. They each have their own fuel pressure gauge. I'll get into the reason why we use return style regulators on both systems in a later video. That's really detailed information that I want to put that stuff into future videos. This is just an introduction to the truck as to what it is and what it's not. Let's take a look underneath of it. All right, so we got the truck up in the air. Let me grab a light here. We'll start in the front and we'll go to the back, okay? So first off, you can see it has a Hamburger's S10 conversion V8 oil pan, and it has standard issue V8 S10 adapter Transdap engine mounts. Those are the original 2.8 frame mounts on both sides. And we use a engine limiter, engine limiter with brackets that are welded to the frame. And it's just a turnbuckle that goes up, connects to the head. Pretty standard stuff. You know, there's no mid plate, no motor plate. Moving back, we've got a factory stock case power glide with a bolt-on bell housing. Of course, a 2-quart deep pan. This is a Vickers Performance Transmissions Battle Axe power glide. Dion Vickers in Alliance, Ohio built the transmission. Converter is a Perfect Converter Company 501 Performance custom-built nitrous converter. Very good working converter. Bubba Rafferty built that for us. I get a lot of questions about the X-brace in the frame. You can see the X-brace here in the frame. That the truck does not have a cage. And if you remember right, the first few passes without the X-brace or the anti-roll bar were pretty wild. So what we did to correct those problems was we took the truck down to a friend of ours, AJ Luckett in Zanesville, Ohio, does fab work for us. And he happened to have this anti-roll bar kit, which it's intended for a Fox body Mustang. But he adapted it, spun it around backwards and mounted it backwards in the frame and made it fit an S10. And the reason we did that is because it still has the stock fuel tank up underneath the bed. So we didn't have room to put the anti-roll bar in front of the rear axle. The truck still uses its original factory leaf springs on both sides. Just uses the low profile Caltrack kit. As you can see here, it's just a low profile kit. The only modification to the spring prac is right here. We had to cut the overload leaf because it would hit the Caltrack bar. That is the only modification to the springs. It still uses its original leaf spring hangers, and it still has factory mounted shocks. And these are just old three-way comp Jippy Skippies, as I call them. They were old shocks we used on the back of Billy's truck years ago, and we kept them and reused them on this truck. Mosier 9-inch rear axle with 370 gears, 15 by 10 Weld ProStar wheels with a 4.5-inch backspace. The rear end is stock issue as far as the width. And as you can see, the tires have plenty of clearance, and they don't really hang out too bad. They fit the truck very well. What else? The exhaust system. I get a lot of questions on the exhaust. It's got 3.5-inch Dynamax Ultraflow mufflers tucked up underneath the cab behind the rockers. And it uses, as you can see, Hedman Hustler fender well headers that have been modified with V-band clamps. And the exhaust passes underneath the cab mount and tucks up neatly behind the rocker. Sounds really good. A lot of people like it. I like it. That's all that matters, huh? Right? Well, Tommy's gotta like it. As far as the front suspension goes, it is completely stock. As you can see, it has the stock upper and lower control arms, tie rods, cast iron steering gearbox, stock front brakes, stock front spindles. It has Napa stock gas shocks on the front. The only thing not stock on the suspension of this truck are the coil springs, which you can see they're Moroso trick front springs. You probably see the part number right there. And the Caltrack bars in the back, and of course the anti-roll bar. Everything else in this truck is dead stock. And to my knowledge, the truck has been a best of 125 60 foot, just the way you see it right here. So we got the truck back on the ground here. Figured I'd go ahead and show you the nitrous bottle bracket setup. We run NX 10-pound bottles, 2 of them, on a single -6 line. There's a Y fitting down there. We keep both bottles in the truck, so that way we don't have to spend a lot of time monkeying around switching bottles out. We just close one valve, open the other, or we run both valves open at the same time, one or the other. They're Lightning 500 valves, again on a single -6 line. It runs up to the Y block up here on the firewall. We use a Autometer digital nitrous bottle pressure gauge. This is the sending unit right here, and that's the -6 line that comes up from underneath the truck and goes into this distribution block and spreads out from there. Let's go in the truck and take a look at the Autometer bottle pressure gauge. It's pretty cool. All right, so sitting in the cab, turn the lights on. All the dash lights still work. Headlights, everything's on the original switch. Oh, turn the key on. Blower motor still works, heater controls still work. You can see this is the Autometer digital nitrous pressure gauge. Go ahead and arm the nitrous system. And you see the NOS Mini controller lights up. There's your touch screen. This is a touch screen deal where you program everything using a kiosk. It gives you all your settings. It's hard to see tonight with this camera phone, but pretty nice little setup. I'll go through this in another video later on and explain how we set it up and how it works, but just giving an overall introduction to the truck and how it's set up. This is your switch for your nitrous, and I've actually got the relay pulled for the standalone pump. You actually hear the Holley blue pump running normally when I turn that switch on. And of course that's your fan, your purge button down here. I put all those switches there so that I can see them right through the passenger or the driver's side window, and I can actually reach in and purge it myself if the kids forget to do that. And I can see that their armed nitrous system is on and whether the fan's on or not. Through the window I can see the bottle pressure gauge and of course the screen for the nitrous system. So everything in this truck is set up so that the old man looking out the window or looking through the passenger side or the driver's side window, I can see what's going on, and I don't have to actually ask any questions. I can just literally look through and see. Pretty neat. So that's going to be about it for tonight, guys. I'm just going to try and end this video here. I'm going to try and get it put together, try and edit it, and see if it uploads. I've never done any of this before. I've never talked into a camera before. I feel a little bit silly. I watch the kids do it all the time and just shake my head, and now here I am doing the same thing. But hopefully I'll get over that. Maybe I'll get a little bit more comfortable talking into a camera or talking to myself. It's a little awkward. I'm not used to it. But hopefully somebody enjoys it. Hopefully somebody gets some information out of this channel. Hopefully it grows. Hopefully I won't be digging ditches for the rest of my life. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to sign off. The old man.